Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I have an article here talking about the Patriarch of the Russian Orthodox Church, Kiril, making some statements that are, I think, in line with their beliefs. And let's get on with this and see what's going on here. This article comes from Ukrainska Pravda from September 25th, 2022. This is the title. Patriarch Kiril says, dying in war against Ukraine cleanses away all sins. Okay, well, if you remember, the Pope said something about helping Ukraine is a against Russian invasion is a moral thing to do. And then I made a video regarding that, stating, giving two examples on how, for instance, Jesus Christ prevented his one of the apostles, which was Peter, to attack the guys that attacked Jesus Christ. If you remember, in the Garden of Gethsemane, when Jesus Christ was praying, nobody was praying with him, and then the Pharisees and all those guys came, the guards, to abduct Jesus Christ, and then all the commotion over there. Peter woke up, came and drew his sword and cut the ear, if you remember, of the, I can't remember, the head guardsman of the Pharisee or something like that. And then Jesus stops him and says, no, this should be done. I should be go, blah, 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 fulfill the whatever. And then, so he didn't think that that was the right thing to do. Then the second one is the bottom line of, how should I say, the core of the Christian, belief is, turn the other cheek. And then another one is love your enemy. So you see how many counter-arguments I had against the Pope, saying that it's just to fight, it's just to fight the, morally just to fight the Russians. No, turn your other cheek, don't love your enemy, and the Gethsemane story. But anyway, let's get going with this. Russian Orthodox Patriarch Kiril has said in his Sunday sermon that, quote-unquote, sacrifice in the course of carrying out your military duty cleanses away all sins, quote-unquote. Well, I'm familiar with, I'm not a believer, but I was searching and I read the most important religion, the main religion's most important scriptures and books, teachings, including the dogmas of Catholic and Orthodox and the Talmud, part of the Talmud, not the whole Talmud, because I didn't have 3 lives to read it, of the, the Hebraic, Judaic faith. And I read about Hindu, Buddhist, and so on, the main ones, and Jain, and I'm familiar with this. In this case, I don't get entangled in their orders, beliefs, and all that. They can do whatever they want in their, religious circle and so on. What I don't like is that to be imposed on me and forced on me or anybody else. You want to believe, that's fine, but I shouldn't be prevented from getting a job in a society because let's say, I have a different belief than you have, or I don't have any beliefs. I'm talking about this kind of beliefs, not beliefs that I'm this or that. Okay, so, and I'm quoting, we know that many today are dying in the fields of, in a battle. The church is praying that this battle will end as soon as possible, that as few brothers as possible will kill each other in this probably brotherhoodly war. I couldn't pronounce that word. At the same time, the church realizes that if someone driven by a sense of duty and the need to honor his oath stays loyal to his vocation and dies while carrying out his military duty, then he is without any doubt doing a deed that is equal to sacrifice. He is sacrificing himself for others, and therefore we believe that this sacrifice cleanses away all of the person's sins. This is what this patriarch is saying. Obviously, a lot of people in this article blames him and so on. I don't get into that, but I will mention some historical events that would shadow this. The problem is we're in the 21st century, and those things were in the medieval time, but I don't think they have a different opinion on that, those actions. Previously, Patriarch Kiril has previously claimed that young Russians were, quote-unquote, doing a heroic deed, and these guys say by killing Ukrainians. Well, maybe defending their country, liberating their brothers, you know, another just war and justified ethical war, as Pope said. Now, let me tell you about the Crusades. So these guys woke up today, and it's unfortunate because we live in a modern day era, and those guys were the Crusades, the first Crusades, right? Let me read you about the first Crusades and the Pope who started it. It's Pope Urban, like urban area, not rural. Urban II, Pope Urban II, lived between 1036 until July 1099. Okay, otherwise known as Otto the Legere. So he was the head of the Catholic Church and ruler of the Papal State from 12 March 1088 to his death. All right, this is what he said. In 1095, he started preaching the First Crusade, which is 1096 to 1099. He promised forgiveness and pardon for all the past sins of those who would fight to reclaim the Holy Land from Muslims and free the Eastern churches. You got it? So, this guy, the Pope, said basically what the Patriarch says. My assessment, I don't have to give it. I'm just saying that it's not the first time when heads of the church did such a thing. Now, he said this pardon would also apply to those that would fight the Muslims in Spain. So that's one thing. And the other thing that I'm going to tell you how beautiful that was. We talk about, maybe you're familiar with this one. It's called indulgences, right? Or indulgence. And in indulgence was part of the medieval Christian church. No, it was the Catholic, not the Christian church. It was the Catholics, as far as I know, and a significant treaty. And if it was another one, how do you call it, Greek Orthodox church, I don't care. They're in the same boat for me. It's just the same, you know, like you have an actor and another actor. They're in the same, you know, area of expertise. They're actors, the same here. They're in religious things and all that. That's whatever they say. Now, it says that, and a significant trigger, this indulgence, to the Protestant Reformation. What, three times is the charm. Basically, by purchasing an indulgence, an individual could reduce the length and severity of punishment that heaven would require as payment for their sins, or so the church claimed. Buy an indulgence for a loved one, and they would go. So buy an indulgence for a loved one, and they would go to heaven and not burn in hell. Buy an indulgence for yourself, and you need not worry about that pesky affair you'd been having. So this is what the Catholic Church has, okay? So, you see, I didn't say this to justify that one, because that's something I don't care. You can do whatever you guys, but in my assessment, killing other people is not, killing them in self-defense, I think that's justifiable. But going and killing just because you want to conquer, I don't think that's, I don't think, I'm against that, let's put it this way. Now, if you get involved in something to save lives, and in the meantime, you kill other lives, think about, and there's no other way, I don't know what to tell you, but you know, is that little rule, do no harm. Or you know, if you are had a little splinter in your finger right here, you're not going to cut the whole hand, you know, to take care of the splinter. Say, I solved the problem, but you don't have any hand anymore, you know what I mean? Don't do that. So the same here. I mean, to save the Russian speaking populations, you know, lives and culture and all that in that territory, more people died than, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, the two parties involved, the Ukrainians, not the leadership, which is not Ukrainian, mostly, and if they are, they all are on the payroll of the master. They fought, and the guy over there is just counting the money and looking at the time. That's what they do, unfortunately. And the Ukrainians and the Russians are killing like crazies. And you have these guys who say, yeah, go and kill. And yeah, it's needed in a war. I understand that. You have to give them, you know, amphetamines and alcohol and whatever you did. Not alcohol, because alcohol gets you, you know, but amphetamines, let's go. You know, that's a different thing. And that's been done for forever. People used to get kind of psychedelic drugs and whatever, just to, you know, mood altering drugs in order to get the courage to go and fight. So anyway, there's, you have the Kiril, then you had the Pope Urban II, then you have the indulgences, and it's much more than that. So, well, it's okay. And God did not show up to smack all these guys and say, what the have you done from what I taught you? But, well, since we are his best creation, there you have it. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.